Hey ladies, welcome back. Natalie Newhart here, founder of Fit Addicted Nutrition. And today what we're going to be talking about is a really hot topic, belly burning exercise. And what I really want to just kind of, fill you guys in on, and I don't think there's enough people talking about it because the research is so new when it comes to female specific fat loss, is that the exercise that's needed for belly fat is different from the exercise that's needed for upper body fat and lower body fat for women in particular, because of our sensitive nature to stress and insulin. They are going to be impacted very differently. Like they just require a different type of exercise. And the thing that, we want when it comes to upper body and some lower body fat is adrenaline. Okay. So adrenaline is basically a hormone that acts like a fat burning gas pedal. Okay. And so what happens with adrenaline is when we work out super hard or long, adrenaline is what binds to the fat cells and it just burns it up like crazy. However, it also binds with, alpha receptors. Okay. And it can slow fat loss, especially, stubborn fat loss in the high alpha receptor area for women, which tends to be the belly, hips, butt, and thighs type area. Okay, so I think I've done I've already done this in another video, but basically when it comes to women, we have a lot of alpha receptors in the hips, butt, and thigh area. Okay. And so when we're pumping out a lot of adrenaline actually binds to these alpha receptors and slows down fat loss, okay? Whereas in other areas, in our upper body, there's what's called beta receptors, okay? And this is like, guys have a lot more beta receptors than girls, and beta receptors are gonna burn up a lot easier, okay? And so when we work out, what we want for the upper body, we want a lot of adrenaline, okay? But when we are trying to lose belly fat or body fat in the hips, butt, and thighs, we want actually low adrenaline because the adrenaline is going to bind up the alpha receptors in the hips, butt, and thigh area, okay? Especially the older that you are. So if you're a woman that's over 35, you're going to be a lot more sensitive to these kind of high stress type workouts, and you'll want to pay more particular attention to what kind of workouts you're doing and making sure you're not going too hard all the time. And so as far as this is concerned, what we're looking for is we want low insulin levels for women. Like when it comes to, the types of workouts that we're doing, and the food that we're eating, what we want to do if we're trying to burn off belly fat, we want to keep our insulin low through basically low carb, type diet, and more importantly, low stress exercise. Okay. So what am I really telling you? What I'm telling you is that exercise will take off fat easily burned from upper body, right? But diet and more importantly, stress management is what you're going to want to focus on to take off belly fat, okay? Or stubborn areas for women, which tend to be the hips, butt, thighs, and belly, okay? Because what we're looking for in those stubborn fat areas are where we need low insulin, because insulin is the thing that binds up the alpha receptors. It's what hangs on to that stubborn fat. And so that if you're taking in carbs or if you're too stressed out, you will have a very difficult time burning off those stubborn body fat areas. And what you will do, you'll be working out and you'll probably get a lot leaner in the upper body area, and maybe for some women, some like lower body. But so your upper body will get thin, but your lower body will tend to remain the same. You'll kind of get like a pear shape, okay? So again, really for most people, for most women, especially the ones that I work with, they tend to not really have so much of a problem with eating so many carbs as they do being stressed out, okay? And so really stress is our main concern with female fat loss, okay? So we want to be using exercise that delivers a lot of impact with as little stress on the body, okay? And so exercise that creates a lot of stress on the body that's going to be things like running, biking, long cardio. And what that is going to do is, yes, it's going to increase stress, but what it's also going to do is it's going to make you really hungry, okay? It's going to increase your hunger, and you're going to have insane cravings, and it's going to increase your insulin because you're pumping out a lot of stress and cortisol, and chances are you're eating a lot more because you're hungry and you're craving food all the time. So we really don't want, we don't want this kind of exercise, especially when it comes to belly fat, okay? If we're focused on upper body fat, that's fine. But if we're focused on lower body fat, then we want exercise that isn't going to be stressful. We want exercise that isn't going to increase our appetite for food or increase our cravings or increase, basically the insulin levels, okay? So what kind of exercise is that? It's going to be things like weight training, like traditional weight training, HIIT, like high intensity but short burst workouts, lots of walking, like relaxed walking, yoga, meditation, like those kind of things, Tai Chi. These things have little to no impact on hunger, okay? But guess what type of exercise makes you really hungry? It's the jogging, the biking, the long cardio, and not only that, but also just you being stressed out. If you tend to live in a constant state of anxiety and overwhelm or frustration or sadness, you are going to have the same effects here, because what that does is raise stress, raise cortisol levels. And what you need to be thinking about is, you want to think C for cortisol and C for cravings, okay? And so if C is high, then you're going to have a very difficult time keeping those insulin levels low to burn off that belly fat, okay? And so the name of the game when it comes to burning off belly fat is keeping that insulin low, which means for most women, this is the biggest issue, is low stress, okay? And so that's the name of the game when it comes to burning belly fat. It's not just about, how much, like what kind of food you're eating or what workouts you're doing, although that does, play a role, but it's about how much can you, keep your stress management low? How calm can you remain? How relaxed can you remain? Okay. And then couple that in with just enough weight training, HIIT, and lots of walking. Okay. And now what I mean here, I don't want you to go to extremes. So when you hear this stuff, I'm not saying that that cardio is bad or that it's not healthy. It just shouldn't be the main source of exercise that you're doing, especially when you're targeting belly fat. Meaning it shouldn't be the thing that you do 5 days a week. Instead, maybe make this, 1 or 2 days a week, and then do, some HIIT training and some weight training and walking instead of all this stuff. Okay. And then not only that, you won't be as hungry. So your hunger will be more stable. You won't be craving carbs all the time. You'll be able to regulate your food and your stress much better. And you'll be a better fat burning machine when you start to take this approach. Okay. Because we all know how hard it is for us to try to forego food when you're hungry and craving all the carbs like crazy, right? It's only a matter of time. If this is the exercise you're doing, it's only a matter of time that you're going to break down and you're going to eat that whole pint of ice cream or that whole bag of chips or that sheet of cookies that's right in front of you, like I might, okay? And so the type of exercise, again, that you want to do is the kind that does not make you hungry and is not very stressful on the body. So that's, again, going to be traditional weight training, okay? They're just like traditional bodybuilding type stuff. HIIT type workouts, high intensity with moderate to heavy weights, with lots of rest in between. So it's not like you're going. It's you're working and then rest, work, rest. Okay. And then lots and lots of yoga. Okay. And so a great way to store body fat and a great way to actually store fat in the belly. Okay. Is going to be eating carbs. Okay. Plus fat, plus doing a lot of high stress exercise, and also being in a constant state of anxiety, overwhelm, those kind of emotional stressors. Okay. And so we want to realize that, it's not just about exercise stress. It's not just about food. It's also about emotional stress. So our only job is to manage stress if we want to be a belly fat burning machine, okay? And this is why so many women really get stuck in this trap of really doing lots and lots of exercise and not seeing any results and still having that little bit of belly fat that they just can't get rid of, okay? It's because they are overflowing with cortisol. They are overflowing with insulin. And that is the thing that's going to keep them hanging on to that fat no matter how hard they work out. Because again, like in another video I've talked about, we aren't burning fat during exercise. We're simply just releasing it. And if stress levels aren't low enough, then the body's just releasing fat and restoring, releasing and restoring, okay? And so in order to burn that fat, we've got to clear that traffic jam, like I've talked about before, by taking stress off the body, okay? Through food and through physical and emotional stress. All right, guys, hopefully that gives you a better insight and helps you take away some things that, maybe hopefully start to change your approach to exercise, your approach to your mindset, and, start to really incorporate more of this stuff. If you want some help with this, I actually have a super simple cheat sheet that you can use. It's called the Lean Body Cheat Sheet. And I also have a specific belly fat cheat sheet that you can use on my website that will walk you through what to eat, how to exercise, what supplements to take, a workout structure and everything. So just go check that out. Definitely don't waste any more of your time on diet plans and diet coaches that aren't, specializing in female fat loss. So hopefully you guys learned something. I love you guys so much. Much love to you all. We'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.